Hi there. I'm your host, Corinne, and this is Okay, But Are You Good? Where we check in on ourselves on a weekly basis to see how we're doing. Are we living our best lives or are we just trying to get by? Wow. Can you believe that it's almost the end of 2025? I am very excited to put this year behind us. I feel like because it's nearing the end of the year, my anxiety, emotions, whatever, they're all over the place. I'm up and down and I hate it. I like just staying on a high. So, with the end of the year approaching fast, I wanted to make an episode that kind of feels like a deep exhale, a reset, as you will. Because before we step into the new year, we have to decide what we're not bringing with us. Because not everyone, not every habit, not every mindset deserves to come into the new chapter. So today, let's talk about what we're leaving behind in 2025. And it's not all out of anger, it's just out of intention. We hold on to things long after it served us, whether that's people, mindsets, routines. And sometimes it's because we're afraid of change. And other times it's because it's guilt, or we may not even notice how heavy it is until we let it go. And that's coming from someone who is one of the biggest grudge holders in her family. My sister thinks it's her, but I'm pretty sure I beat her. So this isn't a crown I wear proudly. It's just how it goes. And I'm working on not holding on to things that don't serve me anymore. Like someone screwed up, whatever. We're leaving it behind in 2025. This person hurt you, fine. Let's move on and leave it in 2025. Because the truth is, letting go isn't failure. Letting go is choosing yourself, putting yourself first. It's telling yourself that you deserve more peace than this. And that's on growth, baby. And look, we're not going to be able to leave everything behind immediately. So just choose one or two things that you for sure want to leave behind. Think about it. I'm trying to leave behind my negativity and probably letting other people affect my emotions and like bring out my anxiety. I would say the last, like over the weekend, I definitely had a bad anxiety moment. And it's funny because I feel like someone's like, oh, you've been doing so well. And then they jinxed it. So that's something I want to leave behind, negativity and letting my anxiety really control me and take over my life. But let's dive in a little deeper on things we may be leaving behind, what I've been thinking about other than just those two things. One would be emotional weight. I want to leave behind overthinking what others think, which ties into my anxiety. In case you guys didn't know that, yes, I have anxiety. And that is such a hard thing to not overthink and not spiral. But I think as long as you're catching yourself in it, it helps you nip it in the bud faster. And I definitely want to leave that behind this year. Doubting ourselves, you have to be your number one cheerleader. So let's leave this doubt behind. Let's root for ourselves. Give yourself that self-confidence that you can get through this. You can do hard things, and let other people doubt themselves and not let their comments control what you're doing, because you can do this and you will do this. So leave that self-doubt behind. And negative self-talk is something else. As I said, let's leave all the negativity that we can. Obviously, life isn't rainbows and butterflies all the time, unfortunately. And if you think it is, great. I love that for you, babes. But that's just not my reality. That's not a lot of people's realities. Maybe one day. But let's focus on positive self-talk and leave the negative behind, because if you're talking yourself in a negative light, other people will catch on and they'll see you in that same way. And then it just leads down a spiral that is not fun. So leaving that behind, the negative self-talk, and feeling guilty for choosing our own peace, for choosing yourself, for putting yourself first. You cannot feel bad for doing things for yourself, because if you can't show up for other people, if you can't do this and that, obviously things are circumstantial. Everyone's environment, reality is different. But for what you can control, you need to focus on that and not feel guilty about it, not feel guilty about having boundaries to protect your own peace. Especially with all the holidays going on, you want to protect your own peace. Holidays can be a lot for a lot of people. So do what you can for yourself because your peace is allowed to come first. You are allowed to be number one. It's your life. And there's a balance or like a difference between taking care of yourself and putting yourself first and being a selfish, narcissistic person. So hopefully you know the difference between the two. Second, something that we're leaving behind are relationships that drain us, whether that be someone that you outgrew. Figuring out that someone only calls you when they need something and they're not there for you, especially a friendship that feels entirely one-sided. And sometimes those are okay, and other times it just gets so draining. Like relationships should be a two-way street. You should be showing up for people and they should be showing up for you. If you're doing all the legwork, that will most likely lead to resentment in some sort of way. I know I've resented people over that. So I would like to leave those one-sided friendships in the past and move forward with my two-sided friendships and in friendships where it's equal, that people want to spend time with you and not just only ask and call when they need things. So in 2026, let's leave these draining relationships, friendships, whatever it is behind, and let's bring consistent, equal, fun relationships and friendships into the new year because we want people that match our effort and our energy and not drain it and take advantage of it. 3, habits that no longer serve us. And I'm not really referring to a routine. It's more leaving behind over apologizing. I'm so guilty of that. Apologizing for stuff that doesn't even need an apology. It's just so convenient and like immediate reply to say sorry for something that doesn't need an apology. And I want to not have to say sorry for things that don't need it. So I want to leave that behind. Another would be saying yes out of obligation. That one's tough, but I've slowly integrated that into my life this year. Or if I've gone to something, I've set the boundary of like when I'm leaving and when I'm going to show up and not have to just do what I don't want to do because I'm living my life, baby. So saying yes out of obligation, we're leaving it. Another one would be procrastinating out of fear. I've been doing that a lot this last month because there's so much to do. Or I guess there's two ways. There's a few ways to look at this, but one would be is procrastinating because you're just scared to do these things. You're scared to get out of your comfort zone. No, get out of your comfort zone. Do something that scares you because the results and hard work will pay off. Another way I look at procrastination, like causing fear, is like if you put it off long enough, then you won't have to deal with it until later. But I may put something off, but then once I'm doing it, it's not that bad. So get out of your head and do something that is uncomfortable and that is going to lead you to living your best life. Because 2026 is all going to be about living our best lives and actually mean it. Like I always say, are we living our best lives? Or are we trying to get by? I want to be actually living my best life. And I'm on my way. My best friend in college, we used to say, surviving, not thriving, or like, I'm living the dream. And we weren't. We were struggling. So I am looking forward to really being on that path of like, I am thriving out there, you know? Lastly, number 4, what we're leaving behind is mindsets that kept us stuck, such as that mindset of feeling behind. You are not behind. You are doing what you can, or you should be doing what you can. And everyone's on their own timeline. So you can't compare your timelines. And some people are on the 30 under 30 list, or they have kids, or they're married, or they're president of a company, and you aren't. And that's okay. Like that just wasn't in the mix for you right now. If you want to do certain things, you have to make it happen. And life is always going to play out the way it's supposed to. Even if it feels like you're stuck and you don't think you're ever going to get out of this rut, you're not going to be successful, you will be. You might just need extra time and you might go through different hoops. You'll figure it out. We always do because you have to. So stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop comparing yourself to other people's timelines and stop letting yourself feel like you're behind because you're not. You are on your own timeline. I'm sure people look at your life and your timeline and think like, oh, I wish I was doing that. So just focus on yourself, focus on what you're trying to do, how you're trying to live your life, because that's what everyone else is doing, except the people that are comparing themselves to you or whoever, because change is not going to happen without you driving the car. It's you. You are the driver of this journey. So get in the car, bus, whatever transportation, and be your driver and believe that you can start over. It's just going to be hard. It's going to take effort. So you have to push through and leave any self-doubt, comparison behind this year. And in the new year, make sure you're bringing that attitude that you can do this, that you are focused on your own journey and your own timeline, and everything will work out because your timeline is yours. It's not theirs. And trust me, we've all done it. We've all compared to everyone else. I mean, I definitely feel a little behind in the sense of like, I don't have kids or I'm not in a certain place in my career, but like, I don't need that right now. I am focusing on my day-to-day, my health journey for my mental and physical, and that is okay. And on where I'm going to go on my next trip. I just said this at Thanksgiving about how horrible of a year this has been for me. And I just can't wait to like close this chapter because this year has been full of challenges and new experiences that I just haven't gone through. And it's been very lonely. And there was times I didn't think I was going to get through it. And a lot of it was things that were out of my control. So I worked through focusing on what I can control and what's in my reality. Sometimes, of course, I forgot that and would get stuck in it. But the year is ending on a good note. You know, you got to have some bad luck to have some good luck. And life was just lifing this year. And I just know 2026 is going to be good. And I just hope it stays like that. But you never know. So if you had a rough year like me, we got through it. You know, there's days you might have thought you weren't going to, but we did it. And things will always turn out the way they're supposed to. And I grew a lot as a person. So I'm trying to focus on the positives. And they always say, like, you're never given more than you can handle, which sometimes I don't agree with that, but I think it's true. And not everything was bad, but there was a lot of life lessons this year. So for 2026, I really want to bring stability, peace, joy, new hobbies, confidence, new friendships, or just like hanging out with my friends more. I probably saw my best friend Robin maybe twice this year, which is a lot for us. So maybe I'll see her 3 times next year. I want to really hone in on mental, physical, emotional health. Like I know I'm getting closer and closer there to just be like flying. So I'm excited. I want to focus on that and boundaries. Like I just know 2026 is going to be a good year. And I hope that's true. I'm going to manifest it. I just really want to bring positivity and a good attitude that like things are going to work out even on the rougher days when it doesn't seem like it. So I'm just grateful. I guess gratitude is what I'm bringing into this new year. So you should too. Think about what you want to bring into this new year. What kind of vibes, attitude, hobbies, friendships, whatever it may be, because this new timeline is all about like aligned energy and sticking to or figuring out your schedule, your routine, things that work for you, things that don't, and letting go of things that don't work for you and bringing in things that do. And we're ready, man. So start thinking about it. Think about what you want to bring in. Think about what you're leaving behind, because this 2025, we're putting it to rest. I'm good. You know, I've learned enough life lessons in this last year to last me a few years. Let's just have a good time. So with that, remember to choose intention, choose lightness, choose yourself. So take a breath, release what doesn't belong, and make sure you check in with yourself and ask, okay, but are you good? Thank you so much for listening in. Let's put this year to rest, and I will catch you all next week. Thank you so much for listening in, and make sure to like and subscribe.